Hey, what's up, everybody? What's going on? I'm glad you guys were able to join me. Today's topic is what do you do next? We tonight was the tonight is the actual last. So sad, because it's the last series, the last video of the series. But yeah, this is the last video for the series, complete the series. And as you can see, it's nice and dim around here. It's not so bright because this is how I like everything set up when I, in my thought zone. You know what I'm saying? I don't like too many lights on or whatever. But anyway, um, um, as far as the song goes, uh, we've been working on this song for 4 weeks now. So week one, we came up with the music. Okay, and we try explaining, the different aspects of the music, as to music production in whole, everything that goes into it, the thought process, and, maybe what sounds to choose. We probably didn't elaborate deeply like we should have, but um, definitely in music production, it's all about music selection. What sounds are you using when you complete, when you're working on your song. um, I guess tempo makes a difference. It's got to be something that feels good. It's got to be something that locks into what you're trying to do. And that was week one, the first night, and then week two was actually recording the vocals. Yeah, week two was recording the vocals after the artist heard the song. Okay, so going back to week one, we were sent the artist recorded an idea in her phone, sent it to us. We did the music, we came up with a concept. Then she came back the next week after we laid down a decent concept, came back and record that video right there. uh I know you guys noticed, but it was like a syncing issue. My words didn't match my mouth as I was, so it was crazy, but you guys could still get the whole idea behind the video and what we were saying. We still shared a lot of information in that video. So we did the vocals the second day or the second week, and like I said, we shared a lot of information. Then week three, I shared with you guys some things that I get into when I begin to get into the mixing aspect of a song. I went into some a little bit into compression or EQ or whatever. Didn't really dive deep into the vocal aspect of it because the music and everything that we were doing was changing. See, and that's some things that happens, and I I wish that I could have steered this project a different way, and we kind of knew a little bit better what we was trying to do, because but it's good that it went that way, because anytime you're doing music is one of those things where things can change any moment. You know what I mean? Like, there's no set boom 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 boom. You want it to go this way, but sometimes the project goes in a whole 360. It goes in a different direction, and you ain't expected to go that way. Maybe somebody had to come in and redo their keyboard part, or had to redo the trumpet line because a new direction in the song and a twist, and producers and writers get to thinking and listen to the song over and over. It's like, man, it's still not blah 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 blah, and this happens several times. So it's kind of was the idea of what happened to the project. We kind of took a different shift or whatever. So um, we're still scheduling different musicians to come in and record. It started out as a simple record, but it's kind of building a little bit more, a little bit more elements in it just to make it a little nicer, whatever. So that's where it is. So I don't really have the liberty to show you where we are because it's still yeah, in beta mode, But I can still show you guys what to do next. And this is the process that I am familiar with. I've been doing this for many years. However, I do not know everything about how to and where to go, because this is 2014. There's always something new coming out. There's always a new platform being created and new and better ways of doing something. You know what I mean? So, you know, by the time you guys looking at this video, it may be outdated. Some of the things I may be saying may be like, ah, that's not how we do it now. You know what I mean? But it's cool though, because, you know, I get to go in the history books as to what it used to be like in 2014. Yeah. But anyway, after you've gotten a good product, a good song, okay, and you okay, you recorded everything, you got the music like you wanted, took it to the mix master, he mixed it down or she mixed it down perfectly like you like it, you know, y'all went back and forth, you know, these are some of the process that goes, you know. I didn't mention it, but there's a lot of back and forths, you know. I don't like, can you bring the vocals down? Can you bring the backgrounds up, blah, blah, whatever, you know what I mean? That's why it's important to create a relationship with everybody you're working with, because, you know, if you're creating a relationship, it's more of a smoother transition, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you know, it's a little bit different, you know? But anyway, there's a lot of back and forth, and obviously when you're going back and forth, you're creating a relationship anyway, you know? But I also think that is, you know, I will say this because I deal with a lot of people that, um, you know, I'm a kind of step out of, you know, beyond myself, but I'm a keep it 100 because that's the type of person I am. You know, I think people should know this, but sometimes people go a little bit overboard, and I just think that there's a certain way to doing things. You know what I'm saying? I understand that the artist or the manager, whoever, they looking for a certain thing, and the mix master may not get it perfectly or whatever, and sometimes they go off. You know what I mean? Like, that's not professional. You know, just, you know, there's a certain way that you must go about it. If you don't like something, you know, just, you know, find a nice way to say it or whatever. You know, be true to it. You know, speak your mind definitely, because it's your record. You paying for it. You want what you want. You know what I'm saying? That's your baby, and I get that. But I just feel like sometimes that you know, this is the way you go about things, and mix those guys that are behind the mix board. You know, it's like you guys got to always remain professional at all times. You know what I'm saying? Even though somebody else might get pissed off at something you did, maybe you know, maybe you didn't bring up the bell part perfectly. You know, it's like way down in the mix somewhere. Sounds good to you, but not to the artist. You know, at the end of the day, we working for the artist. You know what I mean? So, but I mean, I just think that everybody, you know, when going through this process, you know, everybody be cool. You know what I'm saying? And there's no need for yelling and screaming and getting upset, blah blah blah. You know, if there's a misunderstanding, there's a misunderstanding. Whatever, I said it, put it out there. You know, because you know, I'm not a fighter. You know what I'm saying? I like to deal with business on a calm level. You know what I mean? We both businessmen. Let's keep it business. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes people put their personal feelings in it. You know what I'm saying? It's not that type of business. You don't want to do that. You know, and I'm saying that because I have experience in this area, and I know that there's a lot of people that will be watching this video that may get to that point. You know, just always remember to keep it business. And then once you get you're still not done. After you did all that back and forth with the mix guy, the mix guy really don't know how to master. I mean, he can get it to sound good, you know what I mean? But it's a whole nother entity when we're talking about somebody that's going to master your project. And I don't want to throw any prices out, but it gets pretty expensive when you're doing a song. You know what I mean? You pay somebody to mix your song, and then there's a whole nother mix engineer or a mixing company that mix. I'm sorry, not a mix, but mastering company. That's what I'm trying to say. There's a whole nother company that's designed, and that's all they do is master your track. And I'll say this: your master is only as good as the mix. You feel me? I'm gonna say that again. Your master is only as good as the mix. So if the mix is bogus, you can't take it to the mastering engineer and expect them to do miracles. They could definitely bring out some stuff or whatever, but they can't do what a mix engineer is supposed to do. So the mix engineer is supposed to make it sound so sweet, make it sound right, everything blending together, everything glued perfectly, and then the mastering engineer, the only thing that the master engineer does is to bring the levels as loud as they can without peaking. Okay, they get it loud as possible. You know, they may, you know, here and there play around with the frequencies. Duck low frequencies, bring up the highs, whatever. That's what they do. But they're not to mix your project. You know, so that's what the mastering engineer is for. They just, all they do is really, you know, get it to, you know, maybe a little bit more punchy or whatever, depending on what type of music you're doing, and get it sounding clear and loud and radio quality, you know, because that's the last process. But after that point, what do you do next? You got this great sounding song that you spend some nice money on, and you sweating and you tear-eyed, and like, what do I do next? How do I get it out there? You know what I mean? The next process will actually be, if you haven't done it already, you need to have had to copywritten your music. You know, you should have really already started that process in the creating process. You got the lyrics, you got the melody of the music. It should have been copywritten at that point already, you know, because now you got different other people in your ear or around you listening to the song, and you want to make sure that you're protected at all times. So, you know, it just really depends on the producer and the writer, you know, whatever agreement that they have worked out. There's different types of agreements. I've heard of 70/30s, I've heard of 50%, I heard of 60/40s. I've done it before. And it just, you know, it just really depends on how much work is involved, and whatever you agree to. That's essentially what it boils down to. You know what I mean? I typically usually do like a 50%, because I'm the music producer, and I write the melody to the song most of the time, and then I have an artist to write to it, and they may or may not sing, may sing enough to get the point across and sing and send it to another artist, but we still work out 50-50 between, you know, the producer. You know, that's usually how I do it. You know, that's just really how I do it. The artist, well, we're not gonna get into all that. We'll be talking about where did you go next, but that's you know, we in the field where we could talk all day about this. But basically, the next thing you do after the mix is complete, the master is complete. And do stop me, guys, if you got any questions or whatever. You know, this is a Q&A session, so if you got any questions, please feel free. I have no problem with stopping and answering questions. But you need a distributing house. You know, you have to take it somewhere like and it's, I'll say there's maybe 4 companies I feel is reputable. There's a lot of companies out here that does it, but I'll say I was doing a little research, just a little bit, you know, just to see what's out here, what's new, what's going on, just to stay on top of on top of my grind or whatever. But I usually go through CD Baby, okay? But there's 4 good ones out here. It's CD Baby, there's 1RPM, there's TuneCore, and there's Reverb Nation. I've dealt with Reverb Nation before, and I'll kind of break down the difference between all 4 of them. You know, when you're going about distributing houses, distributing your music, their primary job is to place your music and distribute it in digital stores or physical stores. It's depending on what they, you know, who they are, or whatever. They are the people that's going to get your stores. I mean, get your music set up in stores. You know, like iTunes, Rhapsody, Amazon, eMusic, Spotify. Uh, what's another one? I can't think of another one, but it's tons of them out here. Um, yeah, can't think of another one, but it's a lot of them. But the major ones are iTunes, Amazon, Rhapsody, Spotify, um, and there's one right there tip of my lip, but can't think. But those really, to me, those are the ones that kind of really matter the most to me. I'll say iTunes and Amazon is really, in my opinion, that's what I really focus on. Um, and Spotify happens to be like amongst all of these companies I just mentioned. So, um, but iTunes and Amazon is really the focus, in my opinion. Um, but how do you get it up there though? You get it up there through companies like CD Baby, One RPM, TuneCore, Reverb Nation, and there are some other ones out there like that. And basically, all these companies do the same thing, but there are different perks to each company depending on, I don't know all the perks to each company, but I can kind of say what I know, and the little bit that I research. But you have, I've been introduced to CD Baby for a long time. I think CD Baby is more so geared towards the independent market. You know what I mean? When you put out new music, they advertise your music as new music or whatever, and they give you that platform, to start off on. Um, they distribute your music to several people, several stores. Um, they also have the syncing licensing opportunity. That's actually a feature inside your dashboard that you have to activate, in case your music get picked up YouTube or, um, I don't know, anybody who's looking to license. It's like it's a feature that CD Baby offer, and I know that because I have an account with them. I use them faithfully, when I'm releasing projects. Really don't want to get too much into the pricing, but that's definitely the bottom line when you're choosing these companies. You definitely want to get into the pricing. You want to make sure that the pricing and the percentage that they take out of your music once you sell your music, um, it has to match with what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like CD Baby takes 9% from, I think it was 7, but it's 9% away from your earnings. You know what I mean? So at the moment, 2014, this is what the prices is. You pay $50 per album. Okay, flat rate, bam, that's it. Or if you're just doing a single, you pay $13. That's it. You only pay $13 per single. That's per song. One song. You upload a song, upload your artwork, get your stuff on iTunes, Amazon, and just by working with CD Baby, it typically takes, they say, a couple of weeks or so. Like they just say that just worst case scenario. But every time I'll say lately, every time I've been putting stuff on there, it gets released like the next day. Yeah, it takes about the next day for it to go live on iTunes. Amazon take a couple of days, a little bit more time. Yeah, it's a little bit more time to do that way, and you have to follow the guidelines of the artwork. So make sure you go to an artwork guy or designer who knows what they're doing, in terms of the correct specs and what is on your actual artwork. You know what I mean? Because you can't have your website on there or whatever. It's got to be a real cover. So, and again, that's CD Baby. If you go with One RPM, I'm not really familiar with one RPM. I actually just learned about them, but they pretty much do the same thing. Theirs is typically run from anywhere from $40 to $75, and I'm guessing that's depending on how much you have involved in your package. You have the standard version, then you got, if it's going up to 75. This is per album. If you're paying $75 to release your album on One RPM, they have different things that involves that you may need that help you promote and get you prepared and things like that. Or if you're doing a single, it's from $10 to $20. You know, and that's 2014 prices. You know what I mean? Obviously, as the years progress, these prices will change or whatever. Then you got TuneCore. I had artists that put their music on TuneCore. Um, TuneCore, and the other one is Reverb Nation. All right, those two companies does a annual fee. Okay, TuneCore is like $50. It's the same price as CD Baby per album, but the only thing with TuneCore is you paying $50 per year. So if you don't sell anything that year, you still have to pay $50. You know what I'm saying? So basically, you got to be hot, and you got to be working, you got to be doing your thing in order for that $50 to. But the thing about that is they don't take anything out of what you make. You know, $50 a year, bam, you finish. When folk go to your site or whatever, you put up a widget or the link to your music, whatever. When people buy your music and you have a TuneCore account, all of the money you make, you keep. Same with Reverb Nation. All of the money you keep. And theirs is like between $35 and $60 annual fee. And again, 35 to 60, just depending on what all you want involved. You know, different tools and features that they offer in their packages. You know, and that's what the 35 to 60. These are annual fees. They don't take anything out of your music when you get paid. However, you know, it's something you want to look at, because if one year you're not making any money, you still got to pay anywhere from $30, $35 to $60 per year. Whereas CD Baby, you pay $50 for an album or $13 for a single, and whether you make money or not, you don't have to pay a fee at all. They just take their fee out off top. You know what I mean? And I think it's 30%. I think they take, you get 70% of your music, and they take 30. That's what I think. That's iTunes, actually. iTunes. CD Baby take 9% out, but iTunes and Amazon, I think, is 30%. They take 30% out. I could be wrong or whatever, but like, that's just know, you guys got to, do your research and find out what company works best depending on your situation. I typically like CD Baby because I only have to pay one flat rate. I hate recurring fees because you forget about it, and then the stuff come out your account and you wonder, like, oh my God, I didn't even make no money this year. You know what I mean? And seeing where today's market going, you get, it just really depends on who you are and what you're doing. You may do your thing. Like if you're doing your thing, like if you're a label or something like that, and or want to be a label, and you're not feeling the taking percentage out your money, every time you sell a song, and you just you good with paying $50 a year with TuneCore, by all means, go that route. With me, I'll just pay. And right now, I put out a lot of singles with artists, so I'll pay $13. And in that $13, they provide a barcode. A barcode definitely comes in that, because you need that to sell your music. Keep track, sound scan and things like that. Keep track of your music, as you sell. So if you go to CD Baby route, it may come out to maybe, I say, that's like another $5-6, less than $20, less than $20 or whatever. And I really vouch for CD Baby. I've been working with them for years and never had any problems. I have songs with them, like everything that I released through CD Baby is just there. And I'm sure the same thing happens for 1 RPM because it looked like it's the same. It's just, the price is a little bit different or whatever. It's a little bit more expensive. But to each his own, I guess. Just depending on what company offers what and what you're looking for. I had music on Reverb Nation before. Reverb Nation is one of those sites that at the time when I joined, it's almost like MySpace, and then Reverb Nation was like the follow up under that, like a music community. It's built more like Facebook in a sense. There's a community on there. You could build a profile and interact with other people, and you can use their widgets, put it on your websites and things like that. Reverb Nation is real dope for their widgets or whatever. It's just when you I remember when they first released it, put music on their network. If you ain't got that money, come the next year around, they taking your music off. They bringing it down. That's what happens if you don't pay their annual fee. So that's the thing. TuneCore is another one. A lot of people talking about TuneCore and how they don't take no money out of it. Okay, but you paying a yearly fee. So I mean, if you cool with that, cool. That works. All right. So that's how you get your music on. I know I talked a lot, but I was just trying to help you guys kind of understand the difference between the some of the distribution, houses or whatever. So that's how you get your music on iTunes, Amazon, and things like that. How to get it, like what you do, what formats and all that thing. They usually have them. Sorry, they usually have that stuff listed within the account. Yeah, all the details and things like that. And of course, you can give them a call and kind of if you got any questions or whatever. So that's that. But it don't stop there. You must make sure that your music is copywritten. I've talked about that before, and I want to revisit that and kind of break down the difference between copyright and publishing. A lot of people will get it misconstrued, thinking that it's the same thing. It's not the same thing. It's actually two different things. I've actually had to explain this to several artists. So copywriting and publishing music is the two things that you need because they're two different things. When you copyright your music, you have to follow up and register with the Library of Congress. Yeah, it's probably expensive, but what I usually do, I usually submit more than one song at a time and just pay that one flat rate, because it really don't matter if you submit one song. And I have a online account. It's $35 if you have an online account. Again, 2014. That's what it is. 2000. It may go up years down the line. But right now, it's $35 for an online account to submit your music, artwork, stuff like that. And you can submit as much as you want in their database and pay $35. So you can submit one song, pay $35. You can submit 2, 3, 4, 10 songs, pay $35 if you submit it in the same application. Okay, so that's what I do. I kind of copyright my music in bulk. I kind of wait till I get enough or whatever. But if you got a single that you're putting out and get ready to drop, whatever, get ready to release it, blah blah, yeah, by all means, spend that $35. And I'm gonna tell you why you should do that. Now, there's this big thing about poor man's copyright, and I don't really get into that because you can get in serious trouble. If you got a banger song, if your song is really hot, somebody feel the need that they want to go the extra route and steal your song or whatever, okay? If you call yourself sending music to yourself, you send music to yourself, they say you could mail it to yourself, put your address on there, stamp it, mail it to yourself, never open mail. I heard that before. That's not going to really stand up in court. You know what I mean? I understand the concept. Never opening it's got the time stamp on it, blah blah blah, whatever. But if see they honor the court system, honor the copyright law, the actual copy. If somebody went and copyright your song and you did it first, and you got the poor man way of doing it, but somebody else actually took the time and invested in the song and paid that $35 to copyright it with the Library of Congress, who are they gonna pick as to the one who really owns the song? You know, the one that paid $35 and got a certificate from the Library of Congress, the right way of doing it, or the person who mailed their songs to them and was cheap enough to spend, I don't know, $1.50 on stamp, postage, whatever, you know, and never opened it. Is like, you're not gonna win in court. You gotta have a damn good excuse. You gotta have a lot more. I don't know. I don't get involved with that. I say, you know, people say, you know, it's more expensive. And ain't nobody got no money to copyright. But I say like this: it's cheaper to copyright your music than it is to go to court and go through a lawsuit where there's thousands and thousands of dollars being involved in this case, when all you have to do is spend $35. If you mail it in, it's $45. So, you know, it's $10 more because you mail it in, whatever. But the moment that it hits the office, it's copywritten. So, like, even if you got a song right now and you ship it off, just I guess you would say 2-3 business days it'll take us to mail. That once it hits the office, you know, they say that it's automatically copywritten even before they went and opened it up and actually process your application. Or online. Online is quicker because it's online. So the minute I press send, you know, make that payment, it's copywritten at that moment. And you might not get well, you won't get a certificate until maybe 6 months later down the line, whatever. That's just what they do, you know. You just got to imagine how many people copyright that stuff. So it takes them 6 months to send you the certificate, but technically it's copyrighted, so you're good. So the minute you send it off, bam, they got it. You copyright, ain't got nothing to worry about. You cool. Even if I'll just say that's just, you know, whoever you are, you got idea, a tangible idea, it needs to be copyrighted. You know what I mean? Just to protect yourself, just use precaution. It costs money, okay, buy whatever. But I'd rather spend $35 than mess up later on down the line and like, man, wish I would spend that $35. Okay, so that's the route that I go. That's what I do. You know, I'll just say get a little smart about it. You know, when copywriting, you know, maybe you want to wait till you got about a good 10, 15, 20 songs, then copyright. You know what I mean? That's cool too. And I want to go and touch a topic about putting your music out there for promotion. You know, a lot of people put their music on SoundCloud, you know, for portfolio purposes. We could touch on that, you know, since we on the copyright subject. But kind of wanted to just kind of break down a publishing aspect. You know, it's 3 publishing companies. It's ASCAP, it's BMI, and then you got SESAC. I was told that SESAC more so is for like people that are in film, and really you have to know somebody have to sponsor you, someone have to bring you in. I think I heard that correctly. I think that's what it is. But that's not to say that BMI or ASCAP is not good. It's just SESAC work a little differently. So the 2 main ones would be ASCAP or BMI. That's what people are mostly talking about. I have an ASCAP account, a publisher account with ASCAP, and I'm a writer with BMI. Okay. Now, it's 2 different companies. Like, bang, I thought you could only do one company. Well, here's the rule of thumb. You can have a publishing with ASCAP and BMI, okay, but you only can have one writer's account. You can't have writers on both sides. You can only be a writer on one, and that's the thing right there. Now I'm gonna tell you this. This is a crazy story, but when I signed up with ASCAP, I kind of thought, and that was to be a publisher. I kind of thought that was my writers and my, publisher, because I was thinking I ain't no writer. I'm a producer, so I'm thinking lyrics. I don't write lyrics. I'm a producer, so I thought that people like me was for a publisher. It's because nobody explained it to me. Nobody, I just knew that it was important to have an account, you know, but I didn't know which one to have. So, but anyway, whew, sorry about that. Anyway, I went to school and they kind of explained and broke it down or whatever, and I was like, oh, okay, so I need a writer. So I'm still kind of naked or whatever. So I signed up with BMI and got a free account as a writer. So if you guys looking to become a writer, BMI is free. You can get a writer account with BMI. It's free. If you go with ASCAP, when I signed up, it was $35. Might be a little bit more now. I'm not really sure, but you can definitely become a writer with ASCAP. ASCAP will probably be cheaper in terms of writer and publishing. I think to be a publisher with BMI, that's, it gets a little expensive. I think it's like 150 or something like that. So basically, you need the writers and the publisher. I mean, you need both, because when you publish your music, it has to be 50% here. Everything got to equals the 100%. Now, ASCAP works on I think there's a 100% scale. Like, everything has to total out to 100%. So 50% goes to the writer, 50% goes to the publisher, or however you distribute it. If there are more people involved, 30%, whatever, it all has to equal up to 100%. So that's totally up to you. Now, BMI is a little bit different. BMI works on a 200% scale. So if you're doing 50-50, writer gets 100%, and then the publisher gets 100% or whatever. So if you're working with another artist or another producer, or whatever case may be, I want 50% of the writers, and the next writer get the other. I'm sorry, not 50%. 50% of the writer, and the other writer get the other 50%. But on my publisher side, I get 50% of the publishing, and the other person get 50%. So that's total 200%. You understand what I'm saying? So, because you need a writer and a publisher, and everything has to equal out to 200% if you're being my writer. Okay, so the whole purpose of having an account with they call them the pro companies. These are pros, PRO, BMI, ASCAP, or CSAC. The whole purpose is, let me ask you this: when you release your music and it gets picked up on a regular radio rotation, okay? You got your music playing on this station, you got your music on this station, you got your music on a radio internet station, because they register with SoundScan, and however they register to where they have to report what music they play. So you got your different, you got your music played on different channels, okay? Who and how will you monetize or monitor all of that activity? There's no telling when your music will get played and how many times it get played. That's the job of the pros, okay? ASCAP, BMI, CSAC, they all monitor that. All these stations are supposed to report to them anyway. So it's like, they got their own system set up where they know how many times your music got played. And then now we're talking about royalties. and that's how you get paid royalties. And I believe it's like every 6 months, or it's like a certain time, so just because your music play all this month don't mean you're gonna get all your money this month. You gonna have to probably wait. They have on their websites there's specific dates as to when they pay. I don't remember exactly when they pay, but there's different quarters, the time frames that they pay out everything to all of the artists that you know that they owe money to. But that's how that works. So while you sleeping, you making money. Your song being played on the station, and you know because you are registered with publishing, you good, you straight. You have nothing to worry about. Okay, so that's how that goes. Okay, now that will be the most important thing. So yeah, yeah, that's the most important thing. I'm just um, thinking everything that I want to share with you guys. So you got an ASCAP or BMI account. You got your music already copywritten. You got your music on CD Baby, run one R RPM, TuneCore, Reverb Nation, whatever. And you straight. And after that point, you good. But what if you're somebody who just wanted, just to pick up a little buzz or whatever? You want to put it on SoundCloud or something, or even Reverb Nation. Reverb Nation is not only what I just described as one of the distributor companies. Actually, Reverb Nation started as a website where you could upload your music and get those views and listens or whatever. And then they just went in, they tapped into the distributor market, like later on. Um, if you do that, put your music on those type of platforms, sharing it with your Facebook friends and Twitter and any places where you can upload a link and get some activity. I would suggest, I would really suggest that your music is being copywritten, and that's just to ensure that your music is not being stolen by somebody else that think it's dope and they want to reduplicate or sample your music or whatever. I think it's dope if somebody wants to sample your music and they want to steal your music, because that means, man, you making some noise and your stuff is dope, and they think highly to the point where they want to snatch it up from up under you. You know what I mean? But a lot of people are doing this. They are tagging their music. And what I mean by tagging, people are using their voices to kind of go in and kind of interrupt certain points of the song, so it can't be stolen. But people are doing it anyway, so you can tag all you want and they still using it. But I guess they can use it for mixtape purposes or whatever. I guess that's no harm. But after a certain point, if they selling the music or whatever, then they owe you some money. All this stuff gets technical and gets messy because nobody is really reporting how much they making. If I stole your song and I've gotten I sold the song over 600 times. So I think the mark is 600 times or 400 times or whatever. 600 times I sold your song. I ain't gonna stop there. You know what I mean? Oh man, I'm at 600, man. I need to start paying the producer who made this beat. There's no way you're gonna know. That's why there's sites like SoundClick and there's some other sites that are here. They have a licensing agreement, license your music to people, whatever, and they supposedly can, record to it and not sell over a certain. But even when you do that, ain't nobody really reporting. You know what I mean? Like, so people, I don't really get into that thing. I have another area of music that I tap into. Like, that's why I do film composing, and I compose music for games as well. And that's like a whole other market. I don't really involve myself with licensing music unless it's a TV show that wants to license my music. That's totally different. Totally different pay scale and all. And so So I guess that would be the best route. Like if you was to do it, if you upload your music on SoundCloud, all of us do it. I do it. Tag your music, make sure, and I will ultimately say make sure it's copyrighted, but it's not affordable for a lot of people. So a lot of people just tag their music. You know what I mean? Because if you're like me, you in here always creating. I don't always put all my music on my SoundCloud. I have several hard drives worth of music that you know, that I have. So everything that I do is not online. Trust me. I have stuff that I did for several artists, several projects that I'm working on, and I can't release that stuff anyway. Because it's already accounted for. I just release what I can. Stuff that I know nobody touched or whatever. But you know, I hope I was I was rumbling a lot at the mouth. I hope I was able to help you guys understand what it is that you need after you got in your project mixed and mastered. What's the next step. I wanted to share something, a couple of things with you guys. I didn't even know what I said was what I was going to say. I was just, was just flowing, kind of flowing or whatever. I didn't see any questions, so I just kept going. All right, well, but anyway, I feel like I talked too much. I shared good knowledge, and I hope that you guys learn some stuff. If I missed something, if I misinterpret something or said something wrong, feel free. Put it in the comment area and let me know. I'm not that type of guy. I never pose that somebody that knows it all. I've been doing this thing for a long time, and I've seen some success in doing what I do, definitely, and I'm still seeing success. But that's not to say that you know that I know everything, because like I said in the beginning of the video, there's always stuff going on. There's new things, new ways, people doing things, and I got to do research myself to kind of stay on top of my game, so I can know what I'm talking about, because there's always something new coming out and people doing different things. So yeah, I encourage you guys to do the same. Do some research, and maybe something I said again, no, okay, you quoted that wrong, blah blah blah, and I'm learning, but that's pretty much how it goes. That's where you would take your music after you mix and master everything. You would take it and get it to a distribution with CD Baby, 1RPM, TuneCore, or Reverb Nation, just depending on your taste, what you're looking for. All companies are different in their own way, but they all do the same thing. They get your music on iTunes, Amazon, Rhapsody, Pandora was the other one I was trying to say. Yeah, just really depending on what you got. Some of them have physical stores, but it's really all about digital stores right now. Everybody has either a Android phone or a iPhone, and it's like, it's just banging in them areas. Spotify's another one, So anyway, tune in to us every Thursday. I'm doing these Artist Sound shows every Thursday. 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So whatever it is in your time zone, you have to look that up. I'm not really sure. I am being viewed all over the world, and I definitely appreciate all the love that you guys have been showing me. You guys have been showing nothing but love. Appreciate you guys for hanging tough with us through this music series. I know it's been rough. It's been a lot going on with this song that we trying to release. This series has been going on for about four weeks now, and today is the last day. I definitely will do this again in the future, another series. I probably will do it differently. I may even be in a different location. Setup might be different. I'm always changing something, so you can never really expect the same thing from me. I'm KJ. I do things. I'm always trying to be innovative. Do something different, whatever. I don't know, but you can expect that from me. But anyway, I'm your boy KJ, and this is the Artist Sound Show. And I definitely thank you guys once more for tuning in. And I say tune in to every Thursday, as I'll be back on, probably making the beat, or I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. That's me again. You know. But I'm out. If you guys don't have any more questions, I'm gonna have to sign out. As always, I hate signing out, but I must go. But usually I get all the questions in the comment area anyway. Y'all just wait till I upload the video, which is cool. I have no problem in doing that. But all right, I'm out. See y'all later.